failure is the first step to leadership. In part 2, Maryam reveals how she helped her peers build confidence by failing on purpose.
You have worked in bioengineering, you have worked in neuroscience. How do these fields complement for you?
I discovered bioengineering when I started doing my research, and that just shows that it does not matter. Having a passion, I think, is step 0 in the journey. Step 1 is starting to innovate and do things related to that passion. Because up till last year, I was like, I love neuroscience. I will be a neuroscientist. But when I started doing my project, I discovered that I'm actually much more driven about bioengineering. And I wouldn't have known that if I did not do this research. My entire career path has changed in my mind. I have completely different plans. So, bioengineering is like magic. I love it so much because you could create things that are just so incredible and are so helpful, not only to you, but to humanity and society. And it's just the matter of how far you're going to go. How much are you willing to go? How time will you spend? Because with bioengineering, the more deeper I dive, the more technologies that I find out. So if you want to do magic tricks in real life, I recommend bioengineering or any engineering in general. It's just amazing how we could use science to build stuff that are quite literally like magic.
For our viewers, would you explain what bioengineering is? There is engineering, there is medical. So we know that there is biotechnology, there is a medical path like neuroscientist, doctor, forensics. What is bioengineering?
Bioengineering, from my understanding, it is using engineering systems to create solutions to problems in the biology field. You could create synthetic biological molecules. You could create a device that's going to detect Alzheimer's. Being an engineer is not enough. You need to have a background about the biology behind it. So that's where bioengineering comes. I'm thinking about pursuing my degree in bioengineering.
Nice. See, at this age, you are reading research papers. You know about Google Scholar. You are finding professors. You know how to coordinate. You know how to send cold emails, how to get help, how to get review. That's great. You have set a brilliant
Thank you
path.
so much. Thank you. And actually, most of the things 1 year ago, I knew nothing about anything. And the thing that helped me the most was just actually using the internet correctly. I just went to YouTube and I started searching how to do research in high school, how to cold email professors, how to write research papers. And watching YouTube tutorials has helped me a lot. So if someone says, I don't have resources, I don't have a mentor, I don't know anything, just try with what we have. And I feel we would be able to reach something that we will be very satisfied with if we just try to focus more and to just stop this negative self-talk that we're doing.
In your profile, I also saw that you have challenged some mathematical concepts.
Yeah.
You have created that Musa factorial approximation. And it sounds like a breakthrough in mathematical computation. So you are not just in neuroscience, biology, bioengineering, you have dug deep into mathematics also. So, what problem were you trying to solve, and how did you arrive at this formula? And why? Generally, students they just look at a question, they try to solve it the way teacher has shown them or the conventional method. What prompted you to break that path and challenge the thing?
I was in class and the teacher was talking about how we could approximate the sums of numbers from 1 to 100. And I thought that that was a really cool idea. And it would save a lot of time. I went home, I started looking, what if we tried to approximate factorials? I have no background in like mathematics. I looked at formulas and approximations that were already there, like Stirling's, and I decided to attempt doing one, but on a smaller scale. Because obviously, when it comes to computing factorials and computation, they approximate very large numbers. I started looking at approximations for small numbers, and I noticed a pattern, like an expression that followed. It's not like a concrete pattern, but it contains the most common aspects of all of the factorial growth how factorials grow over numbers. And I took it and I tried to run it on smaller numbers, and it was quite good. It has worked really well with small numbers and also with slightly bigger numbers. It does have some accuracy problems, but so far it's good. I wanted like smaller kids to understand how approximations work. So I divided it into two parts. A summation part where it's the sum of multiple expressions, and then the second part is a correction factor. Because due to inaccuracies, sometimes the number is too big, sometimes it's too small. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out how that correction factor works. I'm trying to figure out that connection so I could write a general formula for that correction pattern. Actually, I despised math a lot. It's just so funny to see that successes and impact comes when you least expect it. Just don't be scared. Just do it. And if you fail, it's okay.
That's incredible. You clearly embrace challenge head on with your math work. I'm curious, how did you inspire the same courage in others?
I wanted them to enter a competition and fail so that they could gain immunity. So it was a very fun social experiment watching all of my STEM club members fail. But they gained immunity and now they're doing their own projects. So that's great.
It builds resilience.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like the biggest problem I found in my STEM club members. And that problem was so concerning because they did not even start. And I'm like, hey, let's do a STEM club. Let's do research. And they just looked at me and said, what research? We're gonna fail. Who are you talking to? I'm barely passing my English exam. I'm like, girl, that does not matter. You shouldn't define yourself based on past experiences. Just try it out. And at the beginning, of course, they're no, you try it out yourself. So what I did was I kind of secretly signed them all up for the math Olympiad. I don't know why I did this. I was a bit of an evil person. But I signed a lot of them up for the math Olympiad. And then one day, the teacher called us all like, time for the math Olympiad participants to come. Keep in mind, no one prepared. And obviously, the teacher was calling out the names. And like, when she called out my name, I was like, oh yeah, Maryam is setting herself up to fail again. It will be so fun to watch. But then she called their names. And the look on their face was just so nice. They were shocked. We got really bad grades. But what happened? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And since then, they've been more open to competitions. They've been more open to projects and to new experiences because they said, I failed once. What does not matter.
It does not matter. That's really important. And Maryam, you are very good at observing patterns. I don't know if you know this about yourself. Probably you do. You are very, very, very observant and you are very great in picking up patterns. In last, whatever you said, you always observed a pattern. See, in your STEM club also, you're observing a pattern. They're afraid of failure. You set them up, they failed once, and now they're not afraid. That's really good. You're a boon for your friends.
Oh, thank you.
Lucky to have you. There should be more friends like you. Then nobody would ever be afraid of failure and they would experiment.
Yeah, I hope so.
Maryam turns struggle into strength, but her curiosity doesn't stop. In part 3, she dares to question time itself. Ready to explore? Thank you, see you next time. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.